I'm talking to you, you lovely couple. No mistake, together you make a lovely couple. A perfect match, but there's a catch. When marriage is mentioned, you just bicker. What are we gonna tell the vicar? Love's no crime, but isn't it time to legalize it? Furthermore, your family and your friends advise it. Why the hullabaloo? If you love him and he loves you, do what other lovely couples do.
Here, look, I've got to go. You take these and we sort out the rest tonight, all right?
Yeah, all right. Come round after tea.
Yeah. I'll see you tonight, then.
Hey!
Oh.
Hello, Dave.
Alan, how did you get in?
Your mum was putting out the milk bottles. She seems a bit chirpier. She getting over your dad?
Yeah, well, it's been nearly a year since the funeral now. She's coming out of it. What brings you round, anyway?
Ah, well might you ask. Didn't you hear it? The soft, muted warbling of the race-bred, rally-tried engine.
You borrowed your mum's moped?
Don't be stupid. That's the new chariot of the sales division. All the reps have got one.
Hey, that's not bad, is it? That's a 2000, isn't it?
Of course. Only the best. You could have one of those if you got a transfer.
Yeah, I know I've tried, haven't I? It just so happens I'm indispensable. Without me on the end of the telephone, a supply of crenellated flanges into Nickel Brothers would dry to a trickle overnight.
One of them, you're wasted in buying. Aha! I see you've been thinking about our holiday. Spain, Italy, Tunisia. You're casting the net wide, aren't you?
Well, I was thinking that a bit of sun would be a good idea.
Oh, I was thinking of something nearer home. There's more to a holiday than sun, you know.
What do you mean?
The Isle of Man.
The Isle of Man? You must be joking.
You remember what Bill Jones said about Jersey?
Oh, yeah?
Well, Darren Wimbush has been at both of them, and he says the Isle of Man makes Jersey look like Snow White's finishing school.
You're kidding.
Not a bit of it. He said he had to lock his bedroom door. And even then, the waitress had to go to him when she brought up his scrambled eggs. He got so he daren't come out.
Well, how did he survive, then?
And he got the waitress to hold a glass of orange juice outside the door, and he sucked it through the keyhole with a straw.
Rubbish. You don't believe anything Darren says, do you? I remember his story of how he was trapped in a coach with Miss World contestants.
Yeah, he had to make love to all of them before they let him out.
Well, not all of them. He passed out on top of Miss Puerto Rico. No, I don't want to go to the Isle of Man. I want to go abroad, you know, really abroad.
You must be bonkers. By all accounts, the Isle of Man is crawling with available crumpet. And they all speak English. Even the ones that come from Manchester. Get to the cost of ships and you know what it's like. The British birds go off for the waiters and the local talent don't want to know. You're wasting your time.
Well, you could always go with somebody.
Oh, that's taking coals to Newcastle, ain't it? Eh? Time enough for that when you're married. No, I want a bit of excitement when I go on holiday.
Well, there wasn't much excitement at that holiday camp, was there?
Huh?
Well, when we went to Mungle Sands, or whatever you'd call it, you said we'd be knee-deep in crumpet. Only thing we were knee-deep in was mud. There wasn't even sand in the fire buckets.
Yeah, the amenities were a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, and booking into the over-60s fortnight didn't help much either.
But despite that, there were still attractive birds about.
Yeah, but we didn't get shacked up with any of them, did we?
Oh, speak for yourself.
What do you mean?
I had a few rapturous moments.
Oh, yeah, when the electric rocking horse went berserk.
With that married woman.
What, the one with the, peeling shoulders?
It was not without its romance, as a matter of fact. And that last evening, you know, before Old Lang Syne, people were throwing streamers and toilet paper, and our eyes met across a crowded ballroom.
Yeah, mine met across my nose. I've never been so pissed in my life.
Just seemed to drift into each other's arms. No need for words.
Where was her old man?
I think he passed out under the bandstand.
So he was back with her for a night of mad, passionate love in her chalet?
Not quite. She was worried about waking her 5 kids. But she made it quite clear that if I wanted to, you know, see her again. It was there.
Where?
West Bromwich.
Well, perhaps you should go to West Bromwich for your holiday.
What's the matter with you? Don't you want to go on holiday, then?
Yeah, of course I do. It's just that, well, June was talking about going on holiday.
With us? Oh, that's going to cramp our style a bit, innit?
Well, not necessarily, Alan. You see, I don't think she reckoned that you'd be coming along as well.
She what? You mean you're thinking of taking a bird on holiday instead of your old mate?
Well, I'm in a difficult situation, Al.
I don't believe it. We've been going on holiday since scout camp. What's the matter? Have people started to talk?
It's not like that. It's nothing to do with you. It's just that, well, June and I have been going around for 3 months now, and, well...
You're getting married, that's it, innit? Oh, forget the Isle of Man and the birds. It's 2 weeks at the Graffiti Hotel in Majorca. I'll phone up and get you the honeymoon suite.
Don't be stupid. I know you've never liked June.
That's not true. It's just taking me a little time to get used to the idea of you walking down the aisle together, eh? The confetti, the rice.
Get off.
Your mum putting fizzy tablets in a cider cup.
Will you stop talking about weddings? How many times do I have to tell you? Myself and June were just discussing going on holiday together.
Oh, come off it. You know, go on holiday together, that's it. Unofficial engagement.
Supper's ready. Do you want to stay, Alan? There's plenty.
No thanks, Mrs. Mason. I'm expected at home.
Well, I'll see you then, Al.
Yeah, no doubt the course of our mutual business endeavours should bring us into some kind of proximity. Good night, Mrs. Mason.
What's the matter with him?
Oh, nothing serious. You know what he's like, up and down.
Oh, he has done well for himself. New car and a good job. He's really made the most of his opportunities.
Yes, Mum.
Yes, at school, I remember, you always did better than him.
Well, that was at school. That doesn't mean anything.
Pity, isn't it? You going to be in tonight?
No, I was thinking about going round to June's.
Oh. You know the one I liked?
I didn't think you liked any of them.
Oh, no, dear, that's not true. The one with the long hair.
What, Heather?
Not her. She didn't wear a brassiere.
She didn't have to.
The nice girl that lived up on the common.
Well, Tracy, you said you didn't like her.
No, dear.
It's true, Mum. You never like any of them until I pack in with them. Then the last one's always better than the new one.
I liked Tracy. She was very nicely spoken.
Yeah, I know why you like Tracy. Her old man was a bank manager. Very handy for the overdrafts. If we ever had a bank account.
Look, there's no need to be like that. I've only got your best interests at heart. Now that your father's gone and I'm left all alone.
Yeah, don't worry, Mum. Everything's gonna be all right.
I just want to see you settle down with the right girl, that's all. I know it could mean me being left on my own, but I don't want to stand in your way.
Tremendous, Mum, thanks. I'll keep you abreast of all developments. Now, come on, let's eat. I'm starving.
Don't ever think I want to interfere, dear.
What? You interfere, Mum? Never.
Marrakesh. No, I don't fancy that. That's where all the queers go. No. Here, June, do you remember that water ski instructor in Benidorm? I saved myself for him for 10 days.
Yeah, then he went off with the waiter I fancied. I remember. I'm glad you mentioned holidays, Carol.
Well, you can't start thinking about them too early. No. Oh, I can almost feel the hot Mediterranean sun beating down on my bronzing flesh.
Yeah.
And all those gorgeous fellas offering to pump up me lilo. Here, to the gorgeous fellas. Now, have a look at this. What do you think of him? Male of the month.
The staple comes in an unfortunate place, doesn't it?
Is that all you can say?
Well, he doesn't look as nice as Dave.
I wouldn't know, would I? Think he's smashing.
Who, Dave?
No, this bloke. Oh, Dave's all right. I'm not knocking him.
He's coming round later. He was talking about us going away together.
You two?
Yeah.
Alone?
Yeah. Oh. Well, we're only talking about it. Probably won't come to anything. I know my mum won't like the idea.
It's serious then, is it?
What, me and Dave? No. Well, I don't know. We just jog along, don't we? I mean, we've never talked about getting married.
Yeah, well, it's a big step going away on holiday together, June.
We haven't gone yet. Oh, look, Carol. Why don't you come?
What, you and me and Dave? No, thanks. I never fancied joining a harem.
Well, his friend Alan might be coming.
Even worse. I can't stand the big head. I went out with him once.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I don't boast about it. He said to me, I'll take you out on the town. Do you like Italian food?
And?
We ended up sharing a pizza. I'm on a diet, he says. By the end of the evening, I was too. Oh, yeah. And on the way home, he says, are you still hungry? I said, yeah. And he took out a packet of wine gums.
He was probably trying to get you drunk.
Yeah, well, that's the nearest he got. The pizza place didn't have a licence. All he said was, the coffee's not as good as the food. We'll have one at my place.
Did you?
We never got to his place. He drove with one hand on the wheel and two trying to get up my skirt.
Oh, yeah.
No, I jumped out the second set of traffic lights. Oh, I could have smashed him over the head with that thing.
Hey, it's a good job you didn't. Took my dad 2 years to make that. Oh, Carol, you should see the thing he's making at the moment. I don't know where he got that.
Come on, Mark. Right, Debbie. 1 minute. There we are. Write that down. Lovely. That's it. Lovely. Yes. Great. Oh, evening, Carol.
Evening, Mr. Dent, Mrs. Dent.
Hello, Carol. Sorry to disturb you. Why you couldn't have finished it off in the dining room, I don't understand.
Well, it's so I can see the telly, isn't it?
Well, it's all right, Mr. Dent. I was just going.
Hey, Carol. What do you think of my model, the Eiffel Tower?
Oh, it's really, really nice.
Yeah. How many matches you reckon are in that?
11,000.
How do you know?
Well, I saw it in the tobacconist's window.
Ah. Well, it was nice of him to display it, wasn't it?
It was the least he could do after you bought 11,000 matches, Dad.
We're planning your holidays, then?
Well, I think June has some plans, Mrs. Dent. Well, I better be off then. That looks very nice, Mr. Dent.
Yeah. Yeah, well, of course it'll be good when it's finished.
Oh, it'll be marvellous when it's finished.
Right then. Bye all.
Bye.
Bye, Carol.
See you, Carol.
Ah, what's all this about holidays, then?
Oh, it's all a bit up in the air at the moment. Dave's coming round later.
Nice boy, that David.
Been seeing quite a lot of each other, haven't you, lately? Is he still working at, what's he called? Nicol Brothers?
Yes, Mum.
Bit of a dead-end sort of job, isn't he?
Well, he's been trying to get a transfer to sales, but it keeps being blocked. His boss wants to hang on to him.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Shows what they think of him.
What happened to that Robson boy? He was articled to a solicitor, wasn't he?
I haven't seen him for ages. I think he's passed out, or whatever it is solicitors do.
He was a nice boy. Obviously going to get on.
Yes, well, he got on my nerves most of the time. Oh, Mum, please, don't start parading marriageable fellas in front of me. Dave and I get on very well for the moment, so let's just leave it at that, shall we?
That's right. Let's just leave it at that, shall we?
Right, I'm off round to June's then, Mum. I'll see you later.
I've been thinking, dear. I've got a little money put aside. Why don't we go on holiday together?
Hi, David. What do you think? Not bad, is it?
That's tremendous, Mr. Dent.
Yeah, well, of course, it's not finished yet.
Of course not. Still, it's very good.
Yeah.
You know, that Eiffel Tower, that is fantastic.
11,000 matches.
Go on.
Yeah.
You must have a lot of patience, Mr. Dent.
June will be down in a minute, David. Come on, Hector. You're not still in here, are you?
No, dear, I'm up on the roof.
You can come down and put your coat on. You know I like to be there in good time.
My mum sometimes goes to bingo, Mrs. Dent.
Oh, the Roxy?
I think so.
Oh, you must introduce us sometime, mustn't he, Hector? I'd
Yeah,
like to know all about June's friends.
You like to know about everybody's friends, dear. Hello, Dave.
Come
See you.
on, Hector.
Good enough.
Bye.
Bye. I put it on.
This is Dad's pride and joy, you know.
Well, I didn't do it on purpose. There you are. If nobody breathes, we should be all right. Your dad and his woodwork.
My dad's very good with his hands. I mean, look at that model. Oh, no. What's it doing on the television? It'll melt it.
What, the telly?
No, the Eiffel Tower. The glue's not heat-resistant. It'll collapse.
Yeah, and your mum will probably blame me for it.
Oh, of course she won't.
She has got a very suspicious nature, your mum, you know. I mean, every time she goes out, she looks at me as if she thinks I'm going to leap on you the minute she's through the door.
Which, of course, you're not.
No. I always wait until I hear the garden gate click. Now, come on, let's sit on the settee.
No, not now.
Look, I'm not flesh and blood, you know. I mean, I'm only flesh and blood.
Don't be so melodramatic.
Well, if you really cared about me, you wouldn't be able to hold back.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, you're probably right. If I did care for you, if this really was the real thing, I wouldn't be able to hold back. I'd leap into your arms in wild passion. I was only sending you up. Have a brochure and cool down. I thought Sardinia looked really nice.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid you got a bit of competition. There's somebody else.
What do you mean?
Me mum.
Oh, Mum. What does she want?
14 days in the Dolomites. Well, it's not all in the Dolomites. A coach takes 3 days to get there.
What'd you tell her?
I stalled.
Oh, David.
Well, it's difficult. I mean, she said Dad always wanted to go there.
I know things have been a bit difficult for your mum, but, well, she's a bit demanding, isn't she?
Well, she hasn't got anyone else. It's quite understandable.
Couldn't she go with a friend?
Well, she doesn't want to go with a friend. She wants to go with me.
Oh.
She's not the only one either.
Not Princess Anne.
No, Alan. He got a bit narked when I mentioned that you and I might be going off somewhere together. Anyone would think we were engaged.
What? You and me?
No, him and me. I almost felt I ought to ask him along.
Yeah, I know. I had Carol round here half an hour ago, and she wasn't very thrilled when I told her we were thinking of going away together.
Well, perhaps she, Mum and Alan can go off somewhere.
Oh, no. Carol doesn't fancy Alan. Apparently, he took her up west for a cheap evening out, then made a pass at her.
Well, I expect she knew how to handle herself. Enough other blokes have.
Really nasty thing to say, especially when she said she liked you.
Oh, did she? Well, I quite fancy her myself.
Watch it, will you? You know what she's like.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. She doesn't chuck herself at blokes. She fires herself out of a gun. You should hear what Alan says about that evening. Apparently, she was insatiable.
Oh, yeah, she ate all his wine gums.
What are you on about?
Well, apparently she was starving and all he offered her was wine gums.
Rubbish. There was so much food on the plate, the salt was rolling off the side.
Oh.
She crippled him. He couldn't even afford a coffee.
I can believe that. Oh, come on. What are we arguing about them for? We're supposed to be looking at brochures. Oh, I'd really like to go somewhere different this year. Get away from the crowd.
Yeah, fat chance with them three tagging along. We'd be taking our own crowd.
Then there's my mum.
Well, she's not coming too.
Oh, no. But she'll never agree to us going off on our own.
Well, why not? She didn't raise any objection when your sister went off with her boyfriend.
I know, but they were engaged.
Oh. That made it all right with your mum, did it?
Oh, yeah. I think she saw the engagement as a sort of down payment.
With completion on a wedding day. Yeah. Mind you, it must have been handy for the friends as well. I mean...
What do you mean?
Well, they wouldn't want to tag along so much, would they? They'd respect your privacy.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I suppose,
You suppose what?
Well, we could, you know... If it meant going on holiday together.
Get engaged?
Well, it'd make it easier, wouldn't it?
Hey, is this a proposal? You know, it's just I'd like to know, that's all.
Not necessarily. It wouldn't have to be heavy. I mean, we wouldn't have to go through with it if we didn't want to. Just a nice, quiet holiday together and see how we feel.
Sort of trial engagement.
Yeah, just to make everyone happy. It's only a word, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you make it sound ever so romantic.
Yeah.
What's your mum going to say?
Well, she was a bit upset I didn't marry Princess Anne, but on the whole, I think she'll be pleased. What's that? They're not back already.
Must be. You tell them, all right. Hello, Mum. You're back early.
Would you believe it? They were showing a film tonight.
Well, the Roxy is a cinema, Mum.
When I want to see a film, I watch the telly. I think it's a disgrace.
Yeah, well, now I can have a little go at my snooker table. What's that doing there?
Nothing, Dad.
I was worried in case it got damaged.
Damage? What were you doing?
Well, nothing, Mrs. Dent.
You weren't watching the television?
No, we were looking at brochures. Weren't we, David?
Yes, yes. I mean, it isn't an easy choice, you know. I mean, look. It's France, Italy, Spain, practical woodwork. Oh, sorry.
Yes, well, that's all very well, but I want to know a little bit more about this holiday of yours. Well, I'm not old-fashioned, but I do think there are certain standards of behaviour.
David, weren't you going to say something?
Oh, yes. Yes. That's a wonderful snooker table you got there, Mr. Dent.
Oh, what are you doing? I thought you were going to tell them.
I am.
Well, you better hurry up, otherwise you can forget the holiday.
Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Fine, Mr. Dent. Mrs. Dent, Mr. Dent, there's something I wanted to ask you. Something I hope you'll be glad to hear. June and I...
Yes, David?
Yes.
Well, we've been going around for quite a few months now.
Yes.
And we feel we've got to know each other very well. Quite well.
Yes, lad.
Well enough to believe that we could, you know,
What?
We want to get married.
engaged! I mean... we don't want to get married straight off, that's all.
Well, this does come as a surprise. You are a couple of dark horses. Well, of course, I knew you were getting on very well together, but I didn't expect it quite so soon. Still, it's very nice, I suppose. Oh.
Well, David, congratulations. I suppose I ought to ask you what your prospects are. There's not much point, is there?
Dad!
Yeah, well,
No, but I mean, people don't do that anymore, do they? I mean, it's old-fashioned, isn't it? Isn't it?
Shut up, Hector.
Yeah, well...
What does your mother think about it all?
Well, David thought it'd be nice if we told you first, Mum.
yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice, yeah.
I expect you'll be delighted.
Oh, yes.
Well, this calls for a drink, doesn't it? What have we got, Hector?
We got something in the cupboard.
Well, why don't you sit down?
Here we go.
Well, Mrs. Dent, about this
Oh,
holiday...
you don't have to call me Mrs. Dent now, David. Call me Madge.
Now, David, something left over from the Silver Jubilee. I think you'll find this is a nice drop of sherry.
Lovely, Mr. Dent.
Hector.
Hector.
David.
Well, Madge, Hector, about this holiday.
Yes, well, I see your point. I think you're quite right.
Good.
Well, there's no point, is there?
No point.
Well, of course not. There's so much to do. The banns, finding somewhere to live, planning the wedding. I suppose we have to ask your brother in Australia.
Mum, we wanted to go on holiday.
Oh, but you will, dear. Oh, after the wedding, your honeymoon.
Honeymoon?